Welcome to Cultural Quarter of an Hour with me, Charlotte Foster. This is a podcast all about Stoke-on-Trent and North Staffordshire. We are unashamedly positive about the area and we unashamedly sing this area's praises. We do this by looking at the area's culture. Now, this can be anything from events that are taking place, history of the area, but most importantly, it is the people. Welcome to this week's podcast. Hope you're well. And this week's podcast is actually quite cool. I went to speak to Kat and Kat, who are Potboiler Theatre. I spoke to them the first time in 2017 when they were putting on Girls, Girls, Girls. This time it is Stoke, a Love Story. I spoke to them as they were rehearsing in Longton.
Hello, I'm Kat Hughes and I am co-producer for Potboiler Theatre and the director of Stoke, a Love Story.
Hello, I'm Kat Boon and I'm also co-producer for Potboiler and I am the writer of Stoke, a Love Story.
Last time I spoke to you two, it was in 2017, which we've just been saying, blimey, that's a long time ago, and it was Girls, Girls, Girls that we were talking about, your production. This year, Stoke, a Love Story. Tell me a little bit about it then, please.
So Stoke, a Love Story is a bit more epic than Girls, Girls, Girls. It's set in the city. It's our love song to the city. We obviously both grew up here, and the story is about 5 residents of all varying ages that wake up one morning and something is wrong in the city, and it's about them travelling across the city and sort of rediscovering it. So the play is set in 21 locations across Stoke-on-Trent, which has been a challenge to stage, and it's got a full band. We've got a band of 5. We've got original music. It traverses some of the musical traditions that have sort of been a part of Stoke-on-Trent, I guess. So we've kind of got traditional folk and working music. We have got 90s rave, and we sort of hark back to some of the rave days of Shelley's in Longton. We have got Northern Soul. We've got a scene that's set in the King's Hall at Northern Soul night. And then we've kind of got a bit of an epic sort of adventure soundtrack as well that weaves its way through the show.
Now, obviously, this will be going out before the performances have been going out, so we're not going to give away any spoilers whatsoever, but we are going to tease people to come along. Kat, what is it about Stoke that inspired you guys to come up with Stoke, a Love Story?
So like Kat said, we're both from here and we're both kind of, we absolutely love our hometown, but we've both been away and come back, and I think as everybody here who lives here is aware of, there's a lot of challenges in the city. There's a huge heritage that everybody's proud of, but also there's a sense that what does the future look like? A lot of trouble to do with the present and challenges of living here, and it's kind of about that kind of the tension between the past and the future, and about how we can imagine a new future for the city and what that might look like. This is all about the past, but also about how we use that to create something new, and it's about seeing the city again. It's about, okay, everybody thinks they know Stoke-on-Trent, but actually there's another side to it, and there's another way of experiencing it and discovering it, and we're kind of here to create a show to sort of celebrate that in a really exciting way.
And being based in the city, talking about the city, that must be quite exciting as well. You must be getting a lot of almost like natural feedback.
We're a site-specific company, so we're working in Longton at the moment, and this is where this current show's based, and we are rehearsing. We're currently sat in a disused sorting office in Longton, and the show's just down the road. We've got an outreach project happening in the empty shops, which has been partnered with the Longton Exchange, who've given us this space, and we are chatting to people in the street. They are hearing the music being rehearsed and going, what's that, Duck? What's going on? And we're saying, come and see the show. You know, there were a group of teenagers sat outside last night that are going to come and see the show because they heard it, and I think the title is grabbing a lot of interest. Stoke, a Love Story. People are going, what's to love, or I love Stoke, or it's a sort of natural talking point, and you know what people are like in this city, they love talking about Stoke, and I think it's a bit of a celebration of the warmth of the people in the city as well, definitely, so we're trying to key into that.
So as a theatre company, you've developed hugely in the last couple of years, because I remember we were talking about Girls, 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 and that was in a pub, was it? Yep, the memory comes back. And now, you know, it's grown, and you're saying about you've got an outreach project as well. So how does that feel?
It feels really exciting to expand. We were really ambitious, I think, as a theatre company. We want to get bigger and do new things and get more people to know about us. So, like you say, we started actually originally in 2015 in pubs. We did a pub tour of pop-up theatre. And then girls was in a basement of a club in Hanley, which was interesting. And now we're in a chapel, a beautiful central hall in Longton, which is stunning. So, yeah, we really want to get bigger and bigger. And our outreach project, Falling for the City, is funded by the National Lottery Community Fund, and it's all about engaging with people with those themes of the show that we mentioned earlier. And we're doing an exhibition outside in Longton, we're doing workshops, we're doing some on the street, in the window activity. So really exciting stuff, and it's about using the themes and the things that we're excited about, but taking them outside of the theatre space as well.
And for you, how does it feel to sort of be growing?
It's hugely exciting. You know, we really bounce off each other as a duo, and we, as Kat said before, we've got a real sort of ambition and appetite to get bigger, better, challenge ourselves, do new things, work in new spaces, and we want to keep learning. And every show we've got a little ongoing note, things to remember, because working in a site-specific way does throw up new challenges, but we think that that's part of the joy of it for us. We really thrive off it. So, yeah, it's full on, but it's hugely exciting as well.
You mentioned how you're very site-specific. Are you city-specific as well, or is this something that you want to take on tour?
Well, we love making the work in the city. We think that's really important, and we want to give voice to some of those Stoke stories. People often say we never hear the Stoke accent outside of Stoke and things like that. But ultimately, we would love to share the Stoke stories with the rest of the country. We'd love to take one of our shows on tour round to various spaces. There's talk of a central hall, kind of consortium that exists out there, or, to small scale studio spaces or rural touring. We'd love to do something like that. But it's always a case of getting the right people in, showing them what you can do. But I think premiering, making and devising the shows in Stoke is where our sort of heart is.
Yeah, exactly that. I think our roots are here and the stories we want to tell about here, but like Kat says, that we are ambitious and want to take those stories out there and celebrate our city and get people talking about it and change perceptions of it as well, and get people coming here and other people going out. And yeah, it's all about the exchange of ideas and changing the perceptions of places, really.
Last time we talked, it was 2017, and there was so much hope around about the City of Culture bid for Stoke-on-Trent. Now, obviously, we didn't get the City of Culture bid for 2021, but do you think the attitudes towards culture has changed in the city? Now, both of you are here nodding your heads, so Kat.
Absolutely. We think the City of Culture gave Stoke a reason to think about itself again. What's good about it? What do we do really well? Cultural organisations and artists sort of came together, and it felt like we had a real shared focus for the city. The fact that we didn't get it, I don't think has sort of put the brakes on that. I feel there's been really good momentum in the city, especially since we started in 2014, 2015. There's been a glut of companies making work in this way, which we are all kind of celebrating and working together. And so I feel like it's a well-timed show as well, because we made it in reaction to not getting City of Culture as well. So it felt like the city had a course that we were going on. We were going to aim for something. We were trying to get City of Culture. We didn't get it. We took a breath, and we feel like our show looks at what's next. What's the future?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the fact that we were shortlisted actually is a massive vote of confidence in itself. So I think we are winners anyway. But like Kat says, I think it brought people together and it inspired people, and I think raised aspirations. And as she says, it is our show this year is a reaction to that. It's a reaction to the idea of this city possibly being known as a city of culture and what that does to your sense of identity. So I think that's a really fascinating subject. But yeah, I think it's got more people talking, more people sharing ideas, and definitely I think our company has sort of been swept along with that a little bit, and I think it's definitely something we need to keep pushing. The momentum keeps needing to build, and we need to get more funding in the city to make more ambitious shows is the main thing.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be going to see Stoke A Love Story, and I can't wait to see it. Bits of the sneaky preview that I saw looked absolutely exciting. I had a quick look at the script while the two cats were looking at me as well. And I think I've seen some exciting bits. No spoilers, obviously. And let me know if you've been to see it, what you thought of it as well. You can get in touch the usual ways. Facebook, Cultural Quarter of an Hour Podcast, and on Twitter @CQHP.